Today we are focused on the critical final step of tax preparation, the comprehensive review of Form 1040 by examining the most common errors that the enrolled agent exam will test you on. The exam expects you to move beyond simple data entry and act as a reviewer, spotting inaccuracies that lead to notices and processing delays. Let's start with filing status, a frequently tested area. An exam question might describe a taxpayer whose spouse died during the tax year. For that year, the taxpayer can still file as married filing jointly. The real trap appears in the following 2 years. If the taxpayer has a dependent child living at home, the most advantageous filing status is qualifying widow or widower, not head of household. The exam we present both as options. And you must know that qualifying widow uses the higher married filing jointly standard deduction amounts. Another major area for errors is the standard deduction itself. The exam will test your knowledge of the additional amounts for age and blindness. For instance, a 70-year-old blind taxpayer filing single is entitled to 2 additional amounts, one for being over 65 and another for being blind. A common incorrect answer choice on the exam will reflect the calculation with only 1 additional amount added. You must remember to account for both qualifications separately. When it comes to tax credits, the exam focuses on rule-based errors rather than complex arithmetic. A classic exam scenario involves the Earned Income Tax Credit. The question will provide a taxpayer's AGI, number of children, and investment income. The trick is often the investment income. If it exceeds the annual threshold, the taxpayer is ineligible for the credit, regardless of their AGI. The exam is testing if you remember that specific disqualifying rule. Similarly, missing schedules are a common source of error. The exam will test your knowledge of the thresholds that trigger additional forms. For example, if a taxpayer has $2,000 in interest income from a bank, Schedule B is required because the amount is over the $1,500 threshold. The exam will expect you to identify the need for this schedule based on the income information provided. Finally, never underestimate the importance of a signature. The exam will test the consequences of a missing one. An unsigned return is considered an invalid return. This means the statute of limitations on assessment never begins to run. A question could state a return was mailed on April 15th without a signature and the signed copy was sent in on June 15th. The legal filing date is June 15th, and any failure to file penalties will be calculated from the original due date. To remember your review checklist, use this phrase: silly students don't check signatures meticulously. This stands for status, schedules, deductions, credits, signatures, and math. By systematically checking each of these areas, you can catch the most common errors the exam will throw at you.